Hey everybody, this is Emar Selputa, Sports Inquirer. I'm happy to be joined by Georgia State volleyball head coach Sally Polhamus from just to go over some things as we always do. Sally, the team started off the season with the Invitational. You hosted it, went 1-2 overall. Before we get to specifics, how did the team do playing their first competitive match in a long extended time?
Really excited about the overall numbers that we put up, how people filled their roles. Excited about Meisheia Griffin and how she started the season, not only in preseason and work over the summer, but really to see her excel on the court from both offensive and defensive side, and watching some of our new players make impacts.
Yeah, let's go over Meisheia. She was on the all-tournament team, had 25 kills over the 3 matches. What about her evolution and her growth, just on and off of the court? We spoke to her earlier this week and mentioned how she has become a mentor for the new players to the program while continuing to evolve her game. What about her, as I mentioned, her development and evolution?
So I first want to talk about her as a person. You can't find a better person, more genuine, driven, heartfelt. She's such a great leader, such a great mentor for all of our incoming players. Open. You would never guess that she was a fifth-year senior by how she interacts with incoming players and just really brings them into the family. Then you look at her work ethic in the weight room. Over the summer, she was here every workout. That was a priority for her. Then look at her on the court from both the offense and defensive side. A lot of times with middles, you'll see them really excel in one area, either from a blocking standpoint or an offensive standpoint. And with Mish, you get both. You get the offense and defense. And she's a great communicator on the court. She works hard no matter what. She's battle tested.
And she's had to work with a new group of setters. You were very coy in our last interview about who was going to play setter. You mentioned there were some circumstances that could have made that decision different of who you would choose. But we saw Truth Hafey and Claire Lewis play major roles in that tournament. Both of them had double-digit assists in that California Baptist victory. What about those two? And have you found more solidified, or is the setter position more solidified right now after playing these 3 matches?
Well, the great part is we have 3 phenomenal setters that can run our offense. And Jenna's coming off an injury, and Truth and Claire did a fantastic job this weekend, and also at chat with our exhibition match. And so really love their growth as setters. Both are pretty new. Truth did not have a lot of playing time last year, and Claire and Jenna are both incoming freshmen. So pretty excited about the impact of probably our most or least mature position from a match standpoint, and how they came out and settled into our offense and got us rolling.
Yeah, speaking with Misha in our interview, she mentioned she actually enjoyed the fact that she was working with some new players in that position. Do you try to encourage players to kind of embrace the challenge and, and like the opportunity to play with different players and be in different situations?
Absolutely. And that's the great part of having 9 new incoming players, is that they all bring something different to the court and to our gym, culture wise, all of that. So again, that's Misha's maturity. She embraced that from the summer and really was a leader in getting people in the gym and making that connection and understanding what it's going to take to have a good culture.
Yeah, and wrapping up that invitational, did you achieve what you wanted to as far as, I know the wins and losses, you want to win every match, but did you get players in? Did you get to see some different styles of play from your opponent to help you prepare for conference play?
We absolutely saw 3 different teams out there, and from physicality, from speed of the offense, from just shot and ball control. So that was a great growth point for us. And you're right, very disappointed that we left some points out on the court. A big part of this was understanding that we need to manage our unforced errors. So that's serving errors, hitting errors, blocking errors, passing errors. And, volleyball is a game of errors. Every point ends on some sort of error. So if we can really limit that, that's where we're going to see our biggest growth in wins. And right now we're around 11 to 13 unforced errors. And so we're giving our opponents almost half of their points. And so once we can rein those in, I think that was a huge eye opener for our team and what we talked about a lot going into the weekend and now managing that.
And now you head to the North Florida Invitational starting on September 3rd, and your first match is against Virginia Tech, an ACC opponent. Previewing that match, what have you seen for Virginia Tech? And then also, what are you looking to get out of this tournament, obviously besides getting 3 wins, when you face Davidson and then host North Florida later on in the event?
So this is another tournament with 3 very different teams. Virginia Tech matches up very well with us just because of great athletes, good players. A lot of it is controlling our unforced errors with them, and they're the same type of team. They have some really nice go-to players, and so it's going to be really sustaining our offense while containing their top players. So once we can do that and force them to get into some uncomfortable situations, I really like our matchup with Virginia Tech. I think that Davidson has a very balanced team, plays consistent volleyball, doesn't make a lot of errors, and North Florida plays very fast. They're a very explosive offensive team, so it's making sure we stick to our game plan and what our speed of the game is and not try to match our opponents.
And it's your first true road scenario this year. I know you had the exhibition at Chattanooga, but you're facing a host opponent in North Florida. It's their tournament. I'm sure they'll have some fans there. What do you like that? Just getting your team outside of its comfort zone of Atlanta, facing teams in a neutral atmosphere, maybe early part of the day, just putting them in those type of scenarios?
Yes. That's what you love about pre-conference is getting out, seeing what your team does at home, on the road, and preparing for a conference schedule where you play one team on Friday, travel that night, get in early the next morning, and then play again. And so the resilience of that, the endurance of that, and really taking care of business from an academic standpoint, from a preparation standpoint, all of those things.
Well, Sally, thank you for your time. We greatly appreciate it, and safe travels to Florida.
Great, thank you.